DreamWorks. You were doing so good. So I watched Home last night. It's about this alien race called the Boov, which invade Earth and sort of take it over and put all of the humans in Australia. And there's this one Boov that doesn't really fit in and makes a lot of mistakes. And he meets up with this girl who's trying to find her mother because her mother was taken to Australia, but she wasn't because the little tractor beam thing recognized her as a cat because her cat was standing on her head. So it ignored her and took her mother and just left her there in New York City. And our main character, Boov, which is named O, makes the mistake of inviting the entire galaxy to a party, including the Boov's sworn enemy, the Gorg. I almost said Borg, like Star Trek. So the girl character named Tip is trying to find her mom, and O is trying to just run away. And this movie has terrible pacing. There's a moment in it where you think the movie's almost over, but then it just keeps going. And the pacing is so fast that you're like, wait, what? What happened? And it has that weird air about it that I felt with Interstellar, where it wanted you to feel something. And it's a lot more apparent with this movie as far as how it wants you to feel, because there's like subliminal lyrics in the music. Like there's a moment where the music actually says, "Everything's better now, feel better now." And it says it during a sort of sentimental type of scene. And I'm not making that up! And speaking of the music isn't bad, it's just so out of place. Like, there is an instrumental score, but then there's a lot of songs that have lyrics in the movie that are part of the background score that just sounds like somebody was turning on the radio in the background. I don't mind movies that have lyrical scores. Maybe they did it just because Rihanna and Jennifer Lopez are two of the main characters, since Rihanna plays the girl and Jennifer Lopez is her mother. And I had to say, Rihanna is terrible with her delivery. She emphasizes the wrong words sometimes in this movie. And I haven't even mentioned the way the Boov talk yet. The Boov talk in this weird lolcats English. You know, like Icon has cheeseburger or something like that? That's how they talk! And it gets really annoying really fast. And I don't really mind that the main Boov character is played by Sheldon Cooper of The Big Bang Theory. Or Jim Parsons is his name, I think. Also, I didn't know that he was in Trainspotting. I gotta watch that movie at some point. But the fact that the lines are like that weird lolcats English just makes it unbearable. And the weird thing is, there was a short that played before Mr. Peabody and Sherman in How to Train Your Dragon 2 that was called Almost Home. And the way they talked in that short was nothing like the way they talk in this movie. So something must have happened in production for them to change the way they talk. And by the way, I think the only Boov that talks sort of normal is Steve Martin's Boov, who's called Captain Smek. And that reminds me, this is actually based on a book called The True Meaning of Smekday. And I'm not sure what they were trying to do with this. Maybe tried to do a similar thing that they did with Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, which that was based off a children's book. But the difference is that movie was actually good. And from a different company. That was from Sony Animation. But this, it's just not good. Like I said on Twitter, this is the worst thing they've put out since Shark Tale. I'm not saying it's worse than Shark Tale, but it's been a while since we've had a DreamWorks movie this bad. A lot of people didn't really like Turbo that much, but Turbo was at least a little bit decent, and it had the characters talk sorta normal. But this, oh god. And DreamWorks was doing so good last year. They had Mr. Peabody and Sherman, which I know some people didn't really like, but I enjoyed. Then they had How to Train Your Dragon 2, which was fantastic. And then Penguins of Madagascar, which wasn't really that great of a movie, but still pretty funny. This is just demeaning. It just reeks of focus testing. And the really bad thing about this movie's timing is the fact that this is the only DreamWorks movie that we're probably going to get this year, since Kung Fu Panda 3 was delayed into next year. And their next project, called Boo, the Bureau of Otherworldly Operations, was also delayed. So for any DreamWorks fans out there, this is all you're getting this year. So far, 3 animated movies that I've seen this year. The best one has been SpongeBob. The next one is going to be Underdogs, which I'm not really looking forward to seeing, especially because it's going to have a really awkward English dub. But luckily, after that is a new Pixar movie that is actually looking really good. So yeah, anyway, Home really sucked. I wouldn't say it's worse than Strange Magic, but it's pretty close. So if you've seen Home, tell me what you think in the comments! And also, tell me what you think is the worst DreamWorks movie. Even though I haven't seen it in a while, I'd say Shark Tale. And I will see you next time. Bye! I'd like to give thanks to my patrons this month. Thank you so much for supporting me. It really helps out a lot. And if you'd like to support me, click the annotation for the Patreon link. And if you want more movie reviews, click the playlist. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.